Trump's now saying that he won't uphold Article 5 of NATO, which is the attack on one is an attack on all part of the alliance. With him saying if NATO members don't pay, we won't defend. Right? And the vast majority of the alliance pays the 2% spending goal that the alliance has agreed on, so basically he's singling out Canada, Iceland, and Italy. He also said that he's unsure if NATO allies would defend the US, though that doesn't make sense. Right? And this is the United States is the only country in the history of the entire alliance to invoke Article 5, and it dragged every single NATO member, including Ukraine and Georgia, to Afghanistan for 20 years. And so you've seen a lot of anger in Europe over Trump's attempts to weaken NATO, and you have people saying thousands of Europeans died for Americans after 9/11, and now Americans are running away during their time of need. And so with all this, you're seeing experts saying that Trump's public proclamation that the U.S. won't defend its allies risks starting a world war. All while a new report says that U.S. allies are considering withholding intelligence from the U.S., fearing that it could make its way to Russia. Reportedly, the UK, Australia, Israel, Canada, New Zealand, and Saudi Arabia believing that the U.S. could be compromised in some way. Finland has already even started preparing for Trump to betray them and the rest of the alliance, according to Finnish media. With them also reportedly noticing that Trump disabled Ukraine's weapons and are now assessing how they can prevent Trump from shutting off theirs in case of a Russian attack. But hey, we'll see how this plays out, so follow to stay in the loop. Trump's now saying that he...
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, and of Great Millstone, who to rule and teach well. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatham, to all sincere believers, the hopefully elect out there listening and learning. So back in the news with another news and prophecy. And we'll start off in Romans the 13th chapter. All right. It started off like this. Romans chapter 13. And we'll go to about verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. So we're in the last days, clearly. You know, all of what's going on, it speaks to biblical prophecy. The mark of the beast is here. World War III clearly is brewing and about to break out full-fledged. So as it says in verse 11, it says, knowing the time, right? So we know what time it is. We see the signs that our Lord Yahushua, whom the Lord calls Christ, told us that would happen in the last days. We see the wars. We see that there's rumors of wars going around. We see that there's pestilence, disease all over the place. There's famines going on. People are losing their minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, wickedness is at an all-time high. Rebellion against the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is at an all-time high. All these things speak to biblical prophecy. All right, so knowing the time, what? It's high time to awake out of sleep. So if you're still in this world, like if your mind is still in this world, you trying to make it here, you need to come out of that, okay? Because America is done. Europe is done. You know, this current setup on the earth is done. It's all passing away, right? So as you heard in this opening clip right here, this guy said that Europe is angry with America over their policies. You see? So as it says in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter and the 9th verse, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see, so this kingdom, this fourth beast is divided. All right. They're strong militarily, but philosophically, politically, even culturally, they're at a divide. Okay. You have America and NATO. They're warring with one another. They can't agree. And this ain't nothing new. This has been going on for years, but we're just at a point now to where the Lord is really putting the hammer down on these nations. See, He really brought Trump in, put the spirit on Trump to rile him up to pretty much go against his own allies. And since he came in day one, he's been speaking against his allies. Even during his first term, he was doing that. So now that there's a war in Ukraine, Now you have the whole Israel-Gaza situation, which the European nations don't want to support. All right? Because America is pretty much putting all its eggs in one basket with the Israel situation. But when it comes to Ukraine, America's not there. You see? That's why now Europe has pretty much been isolated. All right, so now they're either going to have to figure something out amongst themselves, which is what they're doing, or they're going to have to align themselves with the BRICS and Russia, which, pursuing the biblical prophecy, that's what's going to happen. Now let's go to Revelation, the 17th chapter, because this was all prophesied. All right, now we're going to make this lesson, I'm going to try to make this lesson as short and to the point as possible, but with these news and prophecies, it's a lot of ground to cover, so a lot of time it does get drawn out, but we'll see how the spirit flow. Revelation 17:16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The whore is America. The 10 horns is speaking about in the scripture here is referring to the modern day NATO and the EU, which were former provinces of the old Western Roman Empire. In the 1400s, during the Renaissance, the ancient Western Roman Empire came back. All right, that's what Renaissance means, the rebirth. Rebirth of what? The classical ideals of Greece and Rome. The Greco-Roman Empire came back into power in the time of the Renaissance. They went out, colonized the remaining 4 corners of the earth, the desolate places, to now you have this beast system that pretty much rules over all the earth. But the main hegemony, the main rule being in NATO and the EU, which America is the head of the NATO and the EU. Okay? So the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So you see all the rhetoric, and we'll get into it, but all the rhetoric that's coming out from Trump, the White House cabinet, and the dis-ease, I'll put it that way, that's coming out from NATO and the EU regarding America's policies, these are causing them to hate the whore. Let me see if I can go back and get that sound bite from this guy.
Weaken NATO, and you have people saying thousands of Europeans died for Americans after 9/11, and now Americans are running alliance to invoke Article 5, and it dragged every single NATO member, including Ukraine and Georgia, to Afghanistan for 20 years. And so you've seen a lot of anger in Europe over Trump's attempts to weaken NATO, and
you've seen a lot of anger in NATO over Trump's attempts to weaken it. That's biblical prophecy right there. Okay? And Trump is pretty much saying, look, we're not going to honor Article 5 because this nation and that nation in Europe is not paying into the bill. All right, but you heard this guy say, NATO and the EU, they're paying their portion. You see? But the thing is, Trump, he wants to get out of that, NATO union because it's all biblical prophecy. Okay? The Lord put the spirit on Trump to move the way that he's moving. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. How is this going to happen? How is the whore going to be made desolate and naked and burned with fire? Well, it's going to come a point to where Europe is going to do what's best for them. All right, because they see that America is not really aligned with them. That they've pretty much been being used as a buffer between the Eastern Bloc, Russia, China, and those nations. They've been used as a buffer to protect America. It's not really about defending their allies, you see? Because America, as Zelensky said in that, press briefing that they had in the White House, you have this big ocean that separates you from the front lines of war. But it is going to come to America. Zelensky told him that. He said that you will see conflict. It is going to touch you at some point. All right, so we're at the point now where NATO and Europe, they're prepared to do what they have to do to preserve their nations, because the policies of America, if you have been paying attention, have destroyed Europe. Their economies have gone to shit. The people are distraught, crying out. You know what I'm saying? They're even talking about conscriptions now, bringing back a draft. All right. So the beast is hating the whore, man. That's the point. And eventually they going to shoot ICBM nuclear missiles over to the land of unwalled villages and burn this place up, man. The future of America is to be burned with fire. All right, that's the judgment of a whore, and that's what's written. Verse 17. For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. You see? So this division that you see amongst NATO and America, this is all from the Lord. Okay, because this is the Lord's will to divide the house of Esau, to divide his kingdom, and ultimately have them destroy each other. This is the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast. You know what I'm saying? So NATO and the EU, they agreed to give their kingdom unto the beast. Okay? For a time, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So it was only for an appointed time that NATO was going to stand, that Esau's kingdom was going to be united on a military front, but now was the time for it all to fall apart. Now was the time for the Lord to destroy this man's kingdom, because he's at the end of his reign. Revelation 12:12, the devil cometh unto you with great wrath, for he know that he hath but a short time. All right, verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, which is America. Okay, now when you go to Matthew the 12th chapter, what did Yahweh Shah say? Let's go to Matthew 12. Matthew 12, and I believe that's, yep, Matthew 12:25. And Yahweh Shah knew their thoughts. It said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And that's what's coming to America. That's what's coming to NATO and the EU. Really, all these nations. All right, because really all these nations are divided in one way or another. But see, the main division is in the house of Esau, because they're the ones that's ruling. All right, Esau is the one that's ruling over the earth right now, and their house is divided. And every house, it's like in every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. You see? And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So Esau's kingdom is divided, man, and it's all the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Is all biblical prophecy. Okay, when you go here, European leaders warn that conscription, which is nothing more than a draft, will be necessary as the EU launches an $840 billion program to prepare for war with Russia. Now, we don't got to really get into the article like that. I mean, the title alone speaks for itself. But this speaks to the time that we're in, okay, to where they're seriously talking about bringing back conscriptions. You see, to where millions of men are going to die in these wars. All right. So we are in a time of war, man. As Yahweh Shah said in Matthew 24th chapter, wars and rumors of wars will be going on heavily in these last days. Matter of fact, when you go to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, it echoes the same thing. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 17, it says, woe is me, which woe goes into destruction. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right. So the scriptures speak of famine and great death. It speaks of wars. Okay. It speaks of a time of great evil, the time of Jacob's trouble, the time of the MOTB being rolled out, the time of World War III, Armageddon, the valley of Jehoshaphat or Yahweh Shaphat. So if you can't see what time it is, then the Lord is not dealing with you in the spirit, man. All right. You have Christians out here that can clearly see all of what's going on and know that we're at the end. So when you see talk about conscription and war, right? If you were drafted, would you willingly go to the killing fields of eastern Ukraine? Which, a whole generation of young men have been wiped out in Ukraine. Millions of men. All right. What about your children? The war in Ukraine has been an endless meat grinder that has already claimed hundreds of thousands of Russian lives and more than 1 million Ukrainian lives. Those that are sane want to see if there is a peaceful way out of this mess. And see, there is no peaceful way out of this mess. You see, this is all of Yahweh Bashmil Shai. As we just read, the Lord wants death. The Lord wants to depopulate the earth. Because really, when you look at these wars, you know, there's a, what do you call it? There's a ulterior motive to it as well. Okay, yeah, these wars are prophetic, but even in Esau, because he's so damn wicked, you know, this goes into his depopulation agenda, which he's accomplishing that with the sauce. You know, he's accomplishing that with changing the food, poisoning the food supply, poisoning the air, poisoning the water, poisoning the soil, pretty much poisoning the whole environment, messing up the ocean. All right. And he's also going to do it by way of war, okay, to where these conscriptions are going to come in place. Millions of men are going to be drafted, thrown out there to the front lines, and they all going to be taken. All right, let's go back to 2nd Ezra 16. I believe that's about, 32. 2nd Ezra 16 and 32. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. This is speaking of how depopulated that the earth is going to be in a short time to come. All right, the earth is going to be laid waste. Verse 33, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Why? Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. This is the reason why the virgins and the women are going to mourn, to have no husbands, right? Verse 34, in the wars, see, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right, so it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be the sword, or it's going to be famine. You see, and that's the scripture. That might be in the Apocrypha. Let me see. They that be slain. See, when you read these articles, like all kind of scriptures start coming to your mind. You know? Yeah. Lamentations 4 in verse 9, it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for wants of the fruits of the field. You see that? So it's better to go to war, all right, and catch one to the head, you know, or get lit up, you know, have a damn tactical nuke dropped on you, than to just die and pine away, which pining away means to just, you know, pretty much starve to death, you know, just waste away, you know, because when you go through famine, you haven't eaten, well, your body starts to eat itself. All right, you start to hallucinate, you start to bug out, until eventually you just pine away. All right, you just give up the spirit and you go back to the spirit world. Right? It's better to be slain with the sword than to be stricken with hunger, man. That's what the scriptures say. So the time we coming into, it's going to be one or the other. All right, and I think it says that when you go up in the same chapter. Let me see. Yep, verse 22. 2nd Ezra 16 and 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Because you have certain individuals that are going to escape the hunger, because there is going to be a famine out here. It's going to be a scarcity and lack of food. It's going to be a lack of resources, period. All right. But you have preppers that have hoarded years worth of food to themselves, you know, and of course you have the elites, you know, they have all the food in the world that they need, you know, deep in their underground bunkers, you know what I'm saying, in these underground cities that they have. Okay, so they're gonna escape the famine, you know, they're gonna have food to eat, but they're not gonna escape. What's gonna happen? The sword is gonna get them. Okay, so for these regular people that's out here walking around with these preppers, you know what I'm saying, they're going to escape the hunger, but guess what? They're going to get got by the sword. And it tells you in 2nd Ezra 15, that pretty much it's going to be people going around with the sword, looking for what they can spoil. Let's go there. 2nd Ezra 15. See, that's one thing about the spirit. You try to keep it short, but all these scriptures keep popping up in your head. 2nd Ezra 15. Yeah, and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, civil wars, uprisings, protests. We see all that right now, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. They're not going to regard the president. They're not going to regard the mayor, the governor, the police. Okay, what in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to do what they want to do. Okay, it's going to be a anarchy out here. It's going to be a lawless society, no law and order. It's going to be complete chaos. Right? 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity. It's going to be no mercy out here. All right? They're not going to give a damn if you're young or if you're old, if you're sick, if you're crippled. If you got something that they want, they're going to take it from you and they're going to put you to death if they have to. All right? That's what time we coming into, man. A very unhinged, cutthroat society. 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. See? The theme of the sword keeps coming up. Okay, which the sword goes into warfare. Okay, which the modern day sword is the gun. All right? And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be no mercy, man. Okay? So these men that are going to be thrown out there on the front lines, the women, the women going to be mourning because they're not going to have no husbands. They're not going to have no comfort in that day. They're not going to have a head to guide them. All right? And it's going to be very bad. So the scriptures speak of the time of Jacob's trouble, which, we're really already in that time. Things just haven't gotten to the worst case scenario yet, but we're already in a time of trouble. The scriptures say in Timothy that in the last days shall come perilous times. All right, so this is coming back, a military draft. All right, which, listen, if they've already put up $840 billion for a conscription, then you already know that war is, pretty much guaranteed. All right. End of NATO alliance could be days away, warns former commander. Okay, so biblical prophecy, man, continues to jump off the pages. The end of the NATO alliance, as we read in Revelation 17 and 16, this is exactly what it's going into. The beast shall hate the whore. All right. Elon Musk supports leaving NATO. Trump is pretty much, that's pretty much what he's saying in so many words, that they're gonna disband from NATO. I mean, you have sources out there saying that he has left, you have sources out there saying that he is going to leave. But the rhetoric that we've seen from him so far indicates that more likely than not, NATO is about to be disbanded. Okay? And this thing is days away as the reports are coming out. It says wavering U.S. support for the defense bloc may open the door to a new European treaty organization. All right, so they're going to replace NATO with a European organization that's going to exclude America. You see? And more than likely, Europe is going to side with Russia. And they're going to come against America. And it's going to be crazy. All right? Check this out right here. Poland announces large-scale military training plan for all men amid rising European tensions. You see this? This is the time for war. All right. At the time of war. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Because there's a time for everything under the sun. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 7, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war in a time of peace. Okay, we are not in a time of peace. We have left a time of peace a long time ago. We're in a time where the world is about to be engulfed in nothing but war. Okay, let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, because the Lord is ultimately the one that's raising these nations up for war so that they can all be judged. So that, this is all for the controversy of Zion. Okay, for the 12 tribes, man. The Lord is fighting for his people. And he's going to make these nations destroy each other. And when the Lord returns, in that huge fathership, the nations going to stop fighting each other, and they're going to turn their guns on Yahweh Shai and the hosts of heaven. That's why they got the Space Force. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got all them satellites out there. They ain't got them satellites out there to just, broadcast it. Nah, man. That's one function, but really they got them satellites out there to watch for the coming of Yahweh Shai, so they know to be ready and get themselves together when Yahweh Shai return. Is to watch for the Lord's coming. Joel 3 in verse 1, it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," okay, which means that the Lord is going to deliver, all right, Judah and Jerusalem, okay, all 12 tribes from their captivities where they've been scattered to around the earth, okay. Verse 2, "And I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there," okay, which Jehoshaphat means Yahweh's judgment. Okay, this is where the Lord is going to gather all these heathen nations together to judge them round about, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So the subject of this scripture here is Israel. These things are being done on behalf of the Israelites, the Lord's chosen people, okay, whom the heathen have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Verse 3, "And they have cast lots for my people," meaning that they sold the Israelites, okay, and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink, right? Let's jump down. It says, "Because," verse 5, "ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians," okay, which is referring to the Edomites, the so-called white man, okay, "that ye might remove them far from their border." When you read Psalms, the 83rd chapter, it tells you all the nations that conspire together to take us away from being a nation. Well, this is their judgment that's coming on the earth. All right, verse 7, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them." Okay, so the Lord's going to gather us from all four corners of the earth where we've been scattered and return us unto our own land. Okay, set us up once again, as a nation of people, because we've been removed from being a nation. See, because of our disobedience, the Lord cut us off. So we went into captivity amongst these other nations where we've been destroyed. We've lost our heritage. And ultimately, we've fallen away from the truth. We've fallen away from our power. Well, guess what? We're in the days now where the Spirit has come back upon us. All right. The remnant. And we are once again proclaiming Yahweh Bashmi Shai, returning back to obedience unto the Most High. And since we've been doing that, this is why things are happening so quickly. This is why the heathen kingdom is falling rapidly, man, because the elect are almost, if not all, sealed by this point. All right. And will return your recompense upon your own head. Right. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Those that lead into captivity shall go into captivity, as it is written. Right. Verse 9. This is the point right here. "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare for war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." Okay, so the Lord is the one gathering these heathen together, man. That's why you got Poland, all these European nations training up their men for war. They're not doing this for no drills. No, this is real deal All right, frontline activity right here. It's not a drill. It's not a game. This is deadly serious. You see? As World War III fears mount, the next blood moon Purim eclipse will appear next week. And the first scripture that come to mind, Luke 21, right? Signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. Luke 21 and 25. Okay, and this all entails the return of Yahushua and the deliverance of Israel. Right, Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and are not the hearts of men on the earth failing them for fear for all the things that's going on. People are scared about the economy collapsing. People are scared about these wars. People are scared about these diseases and these new mandates coming down, losing their job, losing everything that they've ever worked for in this world, failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, pursuant to what? Biblical prophecy. All right. Whether they know it or not, all these things are prophetic that they're experiencing and witnessing. See, we're living through the fall of an empire. We're living through the end of an age. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, which is going to be a large, so-called UFO, so-called UAP, but it's a chariot. Okay, that fathership, man, it's going to be so large that it's going to block out the sun. See, that's why, the scriptures say that every eye shall behold the Lord on his return. All right, every eye shall behold the Lord, man, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. All right, so for us, this is not for us to be afraid. This is for us to actually rejoice, which we are rejoicing, because, hey, look, we try and get out of here. We tired of living through this bullshit life. We tired of, having to, run the damn rat race, be on the damn hamster wheel. All right. Tired of all this wickedness, what I'm saying? Just tired of all the folly, what I'm saying? We trying to get out of here, man. Like, we're looking forward to the kingdom, which is not even going to be comparable to this, rinky dink ass kingdom, man. Esau's kingdom is really bullshit when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, like you'll be in America, and the dream is to, buy a home, have a career. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully make enough money that you can leave something to your offspring that, they can have something to fall back on. Well, look at it now. You got to pay property taxes, which you paying property tax on the home. Even if you pay this shit off, you still don't own the land. So in America, even if you pay off your home, you will never own that land. So Esau can come through and he can say eminent domain, or he can say, yeah, well, we got to run a pipe through here. So if any little discrepancy comes up, he can change the laws, he can change the codes, and he can say, well, we can take your house from you. Okay, there was a lady that she had paid off her house, right, and this was an Israelite woman, okay, so-called black woman, right, but she had paid off her house, and I think she had a unpaid parking ticket or something like that. And Esau come and say, if you don't pay this parking ticket by the end of the month, which she didn't know about it. So by the time she find out, this parking ticket is well over $1,000, which she didn't have the money to pay it. So Esau said, look, if you don't pay this by X date, then we're gonna seize your home. All right. So she had to go to court and all this. I'm not sure if she won. But that shows you how wicked of a system that we live in, man, to where you can pay off for a home, really try to, do the right thing. And at the end, you still get screwed. So we're not going to have to deal with this in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to have to deal with none of this BS in the kingdom. See, we're going to live well. We're going to live. See, in the kingdom, we're going to really live. You see, this is not living like this. This is just getting by for real. This ain't really living and enjoying life, Yeah, you may take a trip here and there, take a vacation, but even in that, it's like it only lasts for a certain amount of time that you gotta get back to reality, man. You have to get back to the rat race, get back to the hamster wheel. And it never ends. It's the same thing over and over again. Every 4 years, you got a new devil coming in office talking about what they going to do and all this and that. You see? People just get more wicked, you know? So it's like, it's just too much. It's just too much, man. This is why we need righteousness, a different rule in the earth, man. Because Esau's rule clearly has not been profitable to earth. Even his own people are complaining. You got Edomites cussing this devil out. It's crazy. You know, but hey, this just speaks. Matter of fact, is that I think that's Sirach. I think that's Sirach 10 or 12, one of them. Bear with me one moment. Let me see if I can get the scripture. It might be. I'm gonna see if it's 12. Cause yeah, man, yo, this, you know, Esau's kingdom is complete trash. No, that's, yeah, it might be 10. Salakia. Sirach 10. Yep, here we go. Sirach 10 in verse 1, it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And see, Esau is not prudent. To be prudent means to look well to your goings, to consider the future, and make wise decisions accordingly. Okay, but Esau, he's not a wise man. See, right now, matter of fact, we'll just read it. Verse 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. You see, so given that Esau's a wicked ruler, he you know, he's a cruel, you know, beast-like man. Which, matter of fact, let's just do that real quick. Okay, what is check this out. What is a beast? All right, what is a beast? So like I said, what is a beast? So like, yeah, what is a beast? All right. Let me see. See if we can get the definition on the Merriam-Webster real quick. See, the spirit got you all over the place. You know, but it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's all through the spirit. A four-footed beast, a four-footed mammal, as distinguished from a human being, a lower vertebrate and an invertebrate. Right? A contemptible person. See? Something formidably difficult to control or deal with. And that's Esau. Okay? Esau is that contemptible person, man. Okay? Esau is worthy of hate. Because look at the way that he rules the earth. He's the reason why all these wars are jumping off. Because look at this, right? You would think this man has the blessing, right? Currently. He got the rule over the earth. He got all the money that he could ever want. He got all the fatness of the earth, right? You would think he would be satisfied with just, you know, living easy, just, you know, enjoying his money and just falling to the back. But no, he got to start wars. He got to make diseases. He got to put hell on the people. This is that beast-like man. All right. This is Esau is that contemptible person. He is formidably difficult to control or deal with, man. This is Esau. Okay, this is why the fourth beast, okay, which, you know, referring to the revived Roman Empire, Esau is the head of it. Okay, this beast-like man, this very cruel, contemptible man. All right, so this blood moon is coming out. You know, this blood moon is coming out. These are more signs of the end. Let me finish out this right here. You know, verse 3. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. You know, so Esau, he's destroying his own people, man. All right, showing you that this man's the devil. He can't be trusted. His own people can't even trust him. You know, which for you Edomites out there that trusted in the system, man, you ain't nothing but a two-time loser. All right, you lost in this life, and unfortunately for you, you're gonna lose in the next one too. Check this out. This goes into this man destroying his own people. Trump threatens new tariffs on Canada, including $250 tax on dairy. You see that? So look, this is nothing but hate, man. This is how much that you Edomite leaders hate you. Okay, the fact that they gonna put $250 tax on dairy, so cows, milk, cheese, anything that uses dairy, the price of it is gonna go up exorbitantly. And this is all a part of that Great Reset agenda. All right, which your boy Klaus Schwab spoke of, and I believe through the spirit that Klaus Schwab is a satanic high priest on the left hand side, man. Like, he just got that look. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like he be into some high is just look like a satanic priest, man. But as he said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Okay, so they're gonna price your ass out of everything, price your ass out of owning a home, price you out of owning a new vehicle, even price your ass out of being able to afford food. Okay, because you think you're gonna stop at dairy? No, he's gonna go to beef. Okay, and we know that these Babylonians love pork. Love swine. This damn devil is so wicked that he's even gonna make swine expensive. All right, he's even gonna make, king crab legs and oysters and lobster. All these abominations, which are delicacies here in America. These things are about to be out of reach for the average American very soon. And this is really all the judgment of Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Okay, to humble these proud ass people, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 8. 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter. Because let's see what would happen to these people and why in these last days. 2nd Ezra 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. See? So the fact that these people have walked in great pride, this is why these miseries, okay? This is why the Lord put the spirit on Trump to come down on your ass with a 250% tax on dairy. Okay, this is why now, with these tariffs in place, you're going to be paying 25% more from imports coming in from Canada, from China and Mexico. So very soon, you about to be paying $5 and up for one avocado. You see? So the squeeze is on. The judgment is on. Doge targets child support database full of sensitive income files. So what's going on here with this guy, Elon Musk, and his Doge department? You know what I'm saying? Dismantling the IRS, you know what I'm saying? Laying off hundreds of thousands of federal workers, really millions. Okay, tapping into the income data of Americans. Okay, what's going on with all this, man? Well, see, when you understand what these devils want, this all goes into them setting up this digital technocracy. This all goes into them setting up this cashless society in which they're gonna have you on a UBI. All right, you're going to be relegated to a 15-minute city, and everything about you is going to be known. You're going to be tracked and traced, and the end of it all is going to be to put a chip in you. Okay, Neuralink, or people already got the other chip in their hand, but that's the end goal of where all this is going. Okay, because very soon there's going to be a cyber attack where information is going to be leaked. People's bank accounts going to be cleared out. The whole grid is going to get shut down. Why do you think they talking about Canada cutting off energy to America? Because something big is coming. All right. And sources that, brothers have shared with me and that I've gone into myself is clearly showing you that a huge economic collapse is coming. Everybody's talking about it. If you're in the know, then you know that this economy is cooked. It's done. Okay, so these devils is not playing, man. All right, because they was just talking for the longest time, but they're not talking no more. All right, in a bold and contentious move, the Doge, spearheaded by Elon Musk, has reportedly set its sights on a highly sensitive federal database designed to enforce child support payments across the U.S. This database, which contains a vast trove of income data linked to nearly every worker in the country, has become the latest target in Doge's mission to streamline government operations and root out inefficiencies, or should we say so-called inefficiencies. Really, they're just looking to dismantle the government because they want to set up a new one that's going to be headed by these technocrats. Okay, that's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. Okay, news outlets including the Washington Post and the Irish Star have recently reported on this development, raising questions about privacy, government overreach, and the implications of such a request. All right. So you see what's going on here, man. Then when you tap into this right here, check this out. Because as we told you, all right, that Revelation 13 to 16, all right, making sure that they dismantle everything, all right, and eventually, like I said, it's going to be a blackout, okay, and you know, they showed you that in multiple movies already. Okay, the most notable one that recently came out, Leave the World Behind, there was a cyber attack where the whole grid was down. You couldn't access nothing. So what you think is going to happen when the whole grid goes down? People can't get their money, you know? People can't buy no food. They can't do anything. They can't get gas. People going to crash out. It's going to be an unhinged society. That's when you're going to see, like we read in 2nd Ezra 15, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. All right. It tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, that what? Friends shall fight one against another like enemies, man. These are the visions of the prophets that are going to come to pass in these days that we're in. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Elites to meet at White House with Trump to discuss plans of making the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. And when you go into the Club of Rome, okay, which is a global think tank that was formed back in, I believe, like 1974. These are the things that they were discussing. Okay. Now you have the WEF, the World Economic Forum, which comes out of the Club of Rome. They are going to implement these ideas, okay, which they've been speaking about for years now. All right, which is to what? Transition into a cashless society, this new beast system in which AI is going to have governance, is going to have control. Robots are going to be in the forefront. You ain't going to have no job. You're going to be on a universal basic income, which is going to be connected to a carbon footprint, a carbon tax. They're going to limit how much carbon that you can use a day. You're going to have a social credit score like how they got in China. So if you speak against these devils, if you speak against the government, if you make any sort of dissent, you're going to be demonized, okay? And your life force is going to be cut off by them. So they want to have full control over you like the Most High has full control. This is why Yuval Harari said that we must have what? Surveillance underneath the skin. This is the end goal. And see, the crypto itself is not the MOTB. This is going to be connected to the MOTB. See, the mark is going to come in the form of the Neuralink or in the microchip that's going to go in your right hand or your left hand. Whichever one you choose to get it in, the point is it's the chip. That's that surveillance under the skin. And guess what? All your medical records, your universal basic income, your carbon footprint, everything is going to be connected to this chip. So this is why they're laying the groundwork. Why you think all these banks are closing down? Why you think everything is all of a sudden just malfunctioning? Like just the other day, the BWI airport had a power outage. You know, last year we saw the pharmacy was having was getting hacked. You know what I'm saying? Banks was going down. Why do you think all these things are happening? You know what I'm saying? Last year as well, like you had a massive Microsoft outage that pretty much affected all the businesses. Information was leaked and all type of shit. Why do you think all this is happening? You think if Esau didn't want this to happen, then it wouldn't happen? No. These things are happening because it's all planned. It's all deliberate. You see, you have to understand who controls this shit. Because see, once you understand who controls it, you understand who has the power to bring it down. Who controls the banks? Who controls these corporations? All these Fortune 500 companies? Who controls the government? Is it not the small hats? Is it not Amalek that controls all these things? So they can collapse it when they want to. And this is what they're doing. And this is the answer right here. Okay, moving into a digital currency and eventually getting your ass chipped, man. This is what it's all leading to. A historic gathering is set to take place at the White House, where cryptocurrency industry titans will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump to discuss the future of digital assets in America. The summit, first announced by the White House on February 28, comes as Trump pushes his ambitious vision to position the U.S. as the crypto capital of the world. The summit will feature some of the most influential figures in the crypto space, right? Which is who? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, you know, just some notable names. Okay. Yeah, Brian Armstrong, you know, he's the CEO of Coinbase. Michael Saylor. All right. Sergey Nazarov. See all these technocrats. All right. Why you think Elon Musk was appointed in the position that he's in? Because he's listen, it should be plain to see. See, Elon Musk was put there because he's the guy under the regime of Trump that's going to bring in this digital technocracy. Okay, this is all a part of the agenda. All right, this is where they was trying to go all along. And when you go into the you know, because there's whistleblowers that have came out and said this same exact fact, because they said they had the chip ready in about 2014, 15, around that time, but it wasn't ready to be rolled out for whatever reason. But now it is the time to bring these things forth, because it's the appointed time now. All right, let's go to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2. So all these wars, you know what I'm saying, the government being shut down, you know what I'm saying, which they're trying to put through a deal to keep the government open, you know, which so far, you know, nothing has gone through. But I'll be shocked if they don't kick the can down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be shocked if they don't find a solution, because usually some way, somehow, you know, they find a way to keep the government functional. But we'll see what happens. Habakkuk 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. The prophecies, okay, everything is for an appointed time, man. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And as Esau. Okay, but the point is, the vision, all right, the vision of the prophet seen, Apostle John, okay, on the island of Patmos. All right, he saw the technology of the future, and he wrote it down the best way that he could describe how. And really, it was written in code, because it wasn't meant for everybody to understand. He didn't even understand what these things meant. But it was for us in these times to be able to actually see these things in the world and filter it through the scriptures, so that we can make it plain upon tables. You see? This is why the prophets are on the scene now, to make these visions plain to understand, because these things were all coded in past time. Nobody could go into Revelation and tell you, you know, what the beast was and what the mark was, you know, and what the dragon represented, and, you know, the 10 horns. And see, nobody understood these things, man. And Christianity has been around for hundreds of years. And they didn't have the correct breakdown on these. See, now you have the prophets set up in the last days through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai that have brought these understandings forth. And now everybody's pretty much biting off our style. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Christians going into prophecy, bro. When we was in the Christian church, you ain't see no, you know, you ain't have your pastor going into no prophecies, you know? Now every Christian want to be a Bible scholar. Now they want to go into the Greek. You know, now they want to go into the Hebrew. All right. So people are watching, and it's all good. It is what it is. We understand that we're not gonna get no credit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is, man. The point is that the word is going out, and people are waking up. Okay, mainly the elect are waking up. That's why the internet has been set up in these last days, man, to spread this information. All right, as it says in Daniel, in the last days, knowledge shall be greatly increased. Science, just the knowledge of things in general has been greatly heightened in this time, man, because of what? The internet, which pretty much anybody can have a platform to speak, anybody can have a platform to put ideas out there, and there's a wealth of information on this platform, man. But very soon, this devil gonna take it away. Pursuant to Amos 8 and 11, there's gonna be a famine in hearing the word, where he's gonna ban the Bible, he's gonna ban any biblical talking points. All right, and there's gonna be they're even talking about bringing back the Noahide laws, okay, which pretty much, if you hold to biblical principles, then you can be put to death. All right, your head is gonna be on a guillotine, okay, which Trump already got them guillotines lined up. All right, so hey, we're in that time of great persecution, man. This thing is deadly serious, So hey, you better have that faith, you know what I'm saying? You better have that relationship with Yahweh Bashman Shah the times we in, because nothing in this world is going to save you, all right? Your money not going to save you. Your food is not going to save you. Your gun is not going to save you. None of that matters, okay? All that matters is your faith in Yahweh Bashman Shah, because that's how you're going to receive grace to continue in this time, all right? So looking at all these things that we've gone through, man, just know that wars are on the horizon. Okay, just know that the MOTB is set to come forth. All right, and just know that the visions are for an appointed time, and these things are speaking now. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kadash. Until next time, shalom to the elect. Come Yasha Allah. Wa Bible. On to the next one. Shalom.